Hello everybody, testing, testing, 1, 2. Put a thumbs up on the Discord if you can hear me, and we're all good. Put a thumbs up on the Discord. Okay, I think I'm being recorded this time. My microphone's on. Everyone, hello and welcome to another edition of the Scientist Reverse Grid League Tier 2, where tonight we start at Paul Ricard circuit in France for what looks like overcast conditions, and then later on this evening we'll be at Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. So we've got our roster of drivers there on the right hand side. You can see some familiar names to Tier 2 and some new names to Tier 2. So Golden Pickle is making his debut in Tier 2 tonight, as is Daddy Pig, who's standing in the vacant Alfa Romeo seat, I believe. We also have Max C, who's stepping into one of the McLarens for tonight, to the AlphaTauri of Doradin tonight. And Little Jim and King Eskimo are both going to be driving the McLarens. So Eskimo is in for Hill Train, I believe, and DFAC has left the league, so the McLaren has been vacated there, and so Little Jim is going to step into the orange and blue overalls and hope to get some points for the McLaren team, who are currently sitting sort of midway point of the Constructors' Championship. As we head to the formation lap, and this gives us the opportunity to quickly update the standings so far this season. So Ultimate Stan is leading the championship on 174 points, followed by Ray Zudden on 170, so there's a good battle there. Then in third and fourth place we've got a tie between Angry Orange, who's not racing tonight unfortunately, and Jim Ranium, both on 116. Then Ryan Van Doom on 69, Casco on 67, Desert Rat on 57, Would You Rather on 54, and Dacunia 46, Carlo on 44, rounding out the top 10. The Constructors' Championship has been dominated by Ferrari on 347 points. Then we've got a good battle between Mercedes and Red Bull, 198 and 192 respectively. And then Renault, Williams round at the top 5. The full details are in the Discord. So let's get all the telemetry and everything set up. Let's get rid of that. So everybody is racing on the soft tyres except for Dacunia in the Mercedes, so that is interesting because normally we see a good mix of medium and soft runners at the start. So maybe Dacunia knows something the rest of the guys don't know by starting on the medium tyres. Chances of a safety car are quite high, I would say, for the circuit, given the tricky turn 1 and 2 section, and then later on in the sector the very tight double right-hander leading onto the back straight is always a melting pot for collisions and incidences, as Spaceman in his Haas starts on pole position because he was the last classified finisher in the previous race. And he's joined on the front row by Ray Zudden, who is battling for the championship. So a little bit of an advantage over his rival Ultimate Stan there, a few places ahead. I'm hoping to be joined in the commentary box by Balix at some point, so hopefully he'll grace us with his presence as the cars file onto their starting positions. How will Dacunia get on starting on those medium compound tyres? And let's hope we have a nice clean start heading into turn 1. Let's get a bit of traffic. So we've got the 5 lights, pause, and we've got the Codemasters glitch here. Hopefully we'll catch up. And we're underway for the French Grand Prix in Paul Ricard. And Spaceman got a good start, kept P1 as they head down to turn 1. And we've already got some contact towards the back. A Renault running wide, it looked like, oh, and we've got a Williams of Vans Racing heading backwards. As Spaceman survives the first few corners, retains the lead. Ray Azudin keeps P2, and then we've got Casto who's leapfrogged Corleone going into the first couple of corners, and the two Renaults line astern. Ultimate Stan's already made up a couple of places off his grid position, and Dacunia, I believe, is well, you can see the pace advantage of the soft tyres already. He's already lost a couple of positions, Dacunia, and he's now right for the picking with the soft runners behind. Look at this. And we've got some side-by-side action with Ultimate Stan, who's battling Ryan Van Doom. Oh, when they collide. A bit of wheel banging going on there. And Ryan Van Doom. Ultimate Stan coming back at him here. But very clean, I would have to say, apart from the one incident with Vans Racing, a very clean opening lap, no safety car, which is good to see. So let's have a look at the position changes. I still need to get a hand of this. As Spaceman rounds the final corner, and Casto's got past Ray Azudin. We missed that. So Ray Azudin has dropped back a position, and Jim Rainium now gets past his teammate in the Renault up into P4. And just looking at the position changes, Little Jim has made up 8 places. Make that 7, make that 8 off the start. So a fantastic start from the stand-in tonight, Little Jim, and now he's to and fro between 10th and 11th with Golden Pickle. So there does seem to be a lot of changes put down in the midfield, and in fact Little Jim, the commentator's curse kicking in there, has now dropped back a few places. So he was up 8 places, he's now only up 4, so he's obviously had some sort of issue as he gets into the slipstream of the Alfa Romeo of Daddy Pig Jr. So DRS not activated yet. Oh, and there's a collision with Little Jim and Daddy Pig. Not the best camera angle to deduce what happened there. Racing incident by the looks of it, as Little Jim falls back to 19th. So, oh, now look at this, we've got Jim Rainium making a good fist of it with Ray Azudin here. And Ryan Van Doom getting in the mix as well. The two Renaults getting in the mix, and Corleone goes into the back of Ryan Van Doom. Has he suffered damage there? Because now he's fallen into the clutches of Ultimate Stan. And, oh, that was a very bold attempt to try and get through from Corleone, as Ultimate Stan is going to capitalise on that and get past Corleone. And that's barely standard overtake, and there's bodywork flying over the place. I do wonder if Corleone's got damage. He's just picked up a time penalty. Maybe that was one of the bollards that they ran over. Let's have a look at this battle here now, because less than a second separates third from 6th position. And we've got Jim Rainium making a move on Ray Azudin, and Ryan Van Doom also. That's the power of the slipstream in the DRS there. And Ryan Van Doom's got a double toe there, and it's going to make an inside. Moved on the inside. Ooh. And Ryan Van Doom, to his credit, gets the move done, and now the compromised exit of Jim Rainium has allowed Ultimate Stan to get through. So some very brave, bold driving there, and we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Maybe it was for the collision there. But Ray Azudin will be absolutely gutted, because he's dropped from P2 to P5, and now he's been taken by his championship rival Ultimate Stan. It's not been the best of starts for Ray Azudin, as Spaceman has built up a little bit of a gap to Casto. And Ryan Van Doom, strong showing from him so far at the start of this race. And look at this, we've got Reyes, Jim Rainium, Corleone. We've got a line of cars. Fantastic racing action. The two Renaults, they've been stuck together for most of this whole race so far. And they're all doing well to keep it nice and tidy through that tricky turn 1 section. And Golden Pickle now has got through Corleone, and I think the Alpha Romeo Desert Rat I think has also got through as well, so maybe Corleone's got some damage we're not aware of as Vicuña struggles to keep it on the track, still getting used to these medium tyres. So we've got a bit of a DRS train emerging here. Very, very small gaps, as you can see. We want to try and keep on top of all the battles in the midfield as well, because we've got PR Oliver and Vicuña, and I mean, Vicuña is going to have the advantage later because he'll be on the faster rubber. I think he's just got to play it patiently here and realise that these guys are on the faster tyre, and that's a bold move round the outside by Vicuña. He just couldn't make it on Oliver, but that's some fair racing there. And now we've got Would You Rather taken to the rumble strip to get past Vicuña, but not making the move stick. And we've got a position change now. We've got Golden Pickle getting past Gymranium. So Golden Pickle up 8 places from his starting position. This is some fantastic racing action. It's really, you've got to pick and choose your battles to follow on camera. So some great racing from everyone on the grid tonight. Fantastic driving and wheel-to-wheel action. Now, the next target for Golden Pickle is Ray Zudden in the Mercedes. DRS activated. Let's see how powerful this slipstream is. Is he using all his ERS? He's used up most of it. But just look how closer he's got to Ray Zudden. The slipstream on that back straight is so powerful. And I think in previous games there was a DRS activation zone here, but not in 2020. Only 2 DRS zones on the circuit, and just look how much pace Pickle's showing versus the Mercedes of Ray Zudden. Let's switch back to the Renault to get a view of this overtake from Gymranium's perspective, and what a move by Pickle, round the outside of Ray Zudden. So Golden Pickle on the move. He's now in 5th place behind his Ferrari teammate Ultimate Stand. It'll be interesting to see how quick Reyes is on the medium compound tyres compared to his rivals. And Gymranium's doing well to keep with this pack here, still getting in the DRS zone, as the pit stop window is now open for the soft runners to come in and pit on the medium tyres. And we've got we've got Psychopath, who is the first of these guys to jump, as Gymranium picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limit warning. So the guys are doing well with the penalties as well, just the 2 Renaults and Little Jim picking up penalties so far. So Spaceman is doing pretty well here, having a fairly comfortable race so far in P1. And now we've got a battle emerging between... Oh, and Would You Rather has retired from the session. Let's cut back to Wayne Bennett. His car is stricken on the wall on the outside, so maybe he had a spin, and we've got a safety car. So now is the time to pit, particularly if you're on the soft compound tyres. If you're on the mediums like Vicuña, this is very tricky. Do you go for the soft tyres, or do you jump onto the hard tyres? I have a feeling the soft tyres might get you to the end, but they'll be very grained up. So Spaceman's fantastic drive, it has to be said, has been neutralised by the safety car. He'll be absolutely gutted at that. Let's hope the guys can keep to the safety car delta and not pick up any unnecessary penalties. And Spaceman is actually staying out. I'm not sure that's the wisest call, because a lot of the guys on the soft tyres are pitting right behind him. So Ryan Van Doom, Ultimate Stand pits. We've got half the field practically coming into pit, and this is the right call in my opinion. You have to pit under a safety car. So we've got 2 racing points in the pits there. Look like they're going to have to double stack, so they might potentially compromise a race, as Max has fitted the inter tyres. Now, does this mean that we're going to have a does this mean that on his radar that we're going to have... In fact, I just thought I thought I saw a little raindrop there, so maybe we do have changeable conditions. But is that the correct tire to be on at this stage? The track looks pretty bone dry, but yes, we do have rain. So Max has put on the intermediate tyres. This is a very brave and bold move, but it might pay off as long as he keeps it on the circuit under the safety car period. He's not going to have to push it as hard, but might be safe in the knowledge that everybody in front of him, as he struggles to keep it through the apex there, he will not have to pit again, whereas everybody in front of him, and he's in P15 at the moment, everyone in front of him will have to pit for wet tyres if the conditions stay as they are, provided he keeps it on the track. This is a very bold call from Max. So all the soft runners now are surely going to have to pit. They're going to have to decide. And oh, just as I said that, Max, I thought he made a great call. He's crashed out. He must have pushed it too hard on those inters and is out of the race. The commentator's curse strikes again. As, yes, the soft runners come in now. Will they pit? In fact, the medium guys are pitting as well, so those guys that have... that's going to cost Ultimate Stan dear, because he's had to... Golden Pickles had to get served first by the Ferrari team, so the Ferrari 2020 pit crew keeping up their good form of botching their pit stops, for one of their drivers at least. So we've got Desert Rat, Daddy Pig and PR Oliver and Acuna all staying out on the dry compound tyres, but they might be regretting that now because the rain's coming down hard. And so if we are to believe the rain is going to carry on, the net race leader is Golden Pickle. So he has jumped Ultimate Stan in the pit stop somewhere. And Castle France, and then the big loser out of this is Spaceman, because he was comfortably leading this race and now he's behind Reyes, Germanium, Castle and Pickle, who he's ahead of. Eskimo is also still on the dry compound tyres, but so I imagine the guys on the dry they're dry by their tyres will have to pit. They've got no choice in the matter. As the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So let's see how much grip Desert Rat, and I don't think he's going to have much grip, do you? My word, look at the rain. He's going to have to pit. He's got no choice but to pit. And the guys on the intermediate tyres will just go flying past these guys when they pit. And now it's all about who has the pace in the changeable conditions. So Desert Rat is not backing up the field as much as I thought, and he's staying out. Daddy Pig stays out. Oliver pits. Oliver no choice but to pit, and Desert Rat goes. So let's watch Pickle. Let's see how, and Acuna has got an assault. Oh, and there's a crash at the back. There's a Racing Point crash at the back. It's Oliver. It's not Oliver, it's Eskimo. Eskimo on those medium tyres, so no grip. As Desert Rat struggles to make it through turn 1. As does Daddy Pig. The two Alphas leading 1 and 2 at the moment. And Pickle has already made light work of Acuna, so Pickle up into P3. And just look at how much he's catching the two Alphas. This is a collision with Daddy Pig. That was a bit careless, it has to be said, from Golden Pickle. You can afford to be a little bit patient here with the guys on the medium tyres. He's got the pace, he's got the grip. And we've got Oh, we've got a collision with the Mercedes on the Haas, and that's Spaceman off. And that Spaceman's race has turned from what looked like a beautiful race for him to an absolute disaster. And Pico is being really impatient here, trying to get past Desert Rat. He was eventually going to get past him, as does Castle France. The guys on the intermediate tyres are just flying past those on the dry. Oh, and there's a bit of a scuffle at the back there between Desert Rat and Ray Zudden now. Ray Zudden is back up into the pod. No, he's not quite. Oh, and it looks like there's a big crash at this in Sector 3. And it's Daddy Pig Jr. It's so hard to keep track of all the battles. So Rat has gone from P1 down to P8. And we're not even at the end of that lap yet. And another yellow flag, so it's Eskimo, I think, struggling on these mediums. And we've got a pit stop for Desert Rat, so he's going to pull out the points. Ultimate Stan, back up into the points now. Little Jim, where has he come from? He's up into P5 now, and he's making a move on Corleone in the Renault, and gets the move done. And now the battle for the lead. Less than a second between Casto and Pickle. And Gymranium not far behind, and Ray Zudden. Look at this, a 4-car battle for the lead effectively of this race so far. As we've got a few guys in the pits who've maybe got damaged. So Spaceman was involved in an incident with one of the Mercedes cars. Excuse me. And we've got Ray Zudden. Looks like he's pulled a move on Gymranium. So no DRS at this stage. He's got a lot of ERS at the moment, as Ray Zudden. Using that to his full advantage. So we've got effectively a 3-lap sprint race on intermediate tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. We've got a few guys on penalties which might affect the end result. Casto and Ray Zudden do not have any penalties, but Golden Pickle does. And we've got another yellow flag in Sector 3. It looks like one of the Racing Point cars. Or maybe one of the Haas cars. So I think we need to stay with this battle for the lead, because it's looking very tasty between Pickle, Casto, Ray Zudden, and don't rule out Little Jim. Let's get the penalties up. 5 seconds for Golden Pickle, so maybe that, I wonder if that was a safety car penalty, but he's going to lose out big time, even though he's sitting in P1 at the moment, as Ray Zudden is looking very racy under these conditions. He was struggling in the dry, but in the wet he's an altogether different beast. And look at that, good exit onto the DRS straight. Of course DRS is activated, so it's all about the ERS here and the slipstream, the power of the slipstream. Casto looks to make a move on Golden Pickle. Casto will know that Pickle has a 5-second penalty. The man he really has to worry about is the Mercedes behind him of Ray Zudden, who does not have any penalties of his own. Let's stay with the Mercedes at the moment. Ultimate Stan, and Ray Zudden looks for a move down the inside of Casto, and Casto goes for a move on Pickle. Pickle goes wide. Pickle retains the position. Casto tries an attempt from the outside. Is there any grip there? And he uses a bit of the rumble strip, and they're side by side going into the final couple of corners. Some brilliant racing here, and look at Ray Zudden getting a good toe there. Casto takes the lead into the final corner. And oh, Little Jim was right in the Munster as well. I think he knocked Ray Zudden off balance a little bit there. But Casto now leads the Grand Prix, heading into the last couple of laps. And Ultimate Stan has disposed of Gymranium, but Gymranium coming round the outside of him and takes the position back, but gets a penalty in doing so, so that's going to cost them in the long run. Stan doesn't have any penalties himself, so Stan might actually end up on the podium at this rate. Let's cut back to the battle for the lead here. 4 cars for the on-track lead of the race. Ray Zudden now. Can he make it past Golden Pickle and catch Casto? That was a key move in this race, Casto getting past Golden Pickle into that final corner. That's given him a little bit of breathing space to Ray Zudden. Now that he has the Pickle buffer. But Ray Zudden has got a much better exit there, and he's going to make a move. Side by side. And he gets the move done. Well before this tight right-hander. Semi-full throttle through there. But now look how much closer Reyes is caught up on Castro. This is going to be the battle for the win here on the final lap. What a fantastic drive from these two guys. From the whole field, I think, has to be said, on balance. It's been some terrific racing tonight. And we've still got Belgium to come. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Less than a second between the 4 of them. Yes, there is penalties, but it's always good to see this amount of competition. We have to stick with this battle. Now, let's see what the exit, what kind of exit Ray Zudden's got coming out of here. And Castro, you can see he's trying to break the toe there. Ray Zudden thinks about the move and thinks better of it. Now this is where Ray Zudden is much quicker out of this corner here, so I'm now beginning to think Reyes might have had a wet setup on at the start of the race, which is why he went backwards. But now look at this, he's going to make the move on Castro on the final lap of the Grand Prix, and he gets him. Reyes must have had a wet setup on, knowing that it was going to rain later on in the race, and it has paid dividends here because he's now taking the lead, and Little Jim has got past Golden Pickle. So while we're watching the battle for the lead, we've got a change on the podium positions as well, but Ultimate Stan is surely going to inherit that final podium position because he doesn't have any penalties. But crucially for the in the context of the championship, Reyes Zudden is going to win the French Grand Prix in a fantastic race, followed by Castor France. Ultimate Stan gets the final podium position as predicted. Little Jim, in his first race in Tier 2, gets 4th position. Fantastic drive from him. Pickle, also first race in Tier 2, 5th place. An excellent job from him. Jimranium, another solid performance from the Renault. Ryan Van Diemen 7th. Psychopath, point scorer in Japan, point scorer in France. A fantastic drive from the Haas, a very understated performance, but he was there to pick up the points. Corleone in P9 in the 2nd Renault, so good constructors points for them. And Desert Rat, despite being on the wrong tyre at the wrong time, picks up the final championship point. And we have to adjust for penalties, of course, here, but that's the final top 10. And reverse grid pole will go to King Eskimo in the racing point, along with PR Oliver. So we've got 2 Pink Panthers on the front row for the next race in Spa-Francorchamps. Wow, just have to catch my breath after that. What a fantastic race. Wheel to wheel action. Some really, really good driving. Very clean driving, I think. There was no major incidents that... Maybe the one with Spaceman was probably the biggest incident that I picked up on camera. But other than that, some fantastic driving from the field. And Little Jim, there he is. Gets driver of the day, an extra championship point. He's a Tier 3 full timer, actually, Little Jim. But stepping in tonight. And a brilliant performance from him as Reza then picks up the winner's trophy on the podium alongside Casto and Ultimate Stan. That was the French Grand Prix. So it's quite exciting for the commentator because we don't really know what the weather's going to be like. So the rain was a nice surprise there. So there we go, I'm just going to get a screenshot for the Discord, and so we can form the grid for the next race. So I'm going to duck out the party chat, and hopefully you folks will rejoin us for the Belgian Grand Prix in the next few minutes or so. Stay tuned, folks. Hello everyone, welcome back. We are now at sunny Belgium. I don't think we're in any danger of having rain now. So, if you were still watching while the lobby was being sorted out, you'll know that Eskimo and Oliver are starting P1 and 2. But you'll soon see for yourself. It's been a long day. You'll soon see for yourself the grid order for this race. So, if my math serves me correctly, I think with the win in France, Ray Zudden is now the championship leader heading into this race, ahead of Ultimate Stan. And there was a 10-point swing there, so I think that's a 7-point advantage now for Ray Zudden. Or maybe more, because I can't recall who got fastest lap in that race, but we can check after. So who's looking for redemption in this race? Would you rather? Certainly. After his DNF, Max and Wayne Bennett, who also DNF'd. You'll notice there Bull Text at the bottom of your screen. He's jumped in the Red Bull that was left by Angry Orange, who was unable to join us tonight. So welcome, Bull Text. And I think someone who'll be definitely having a determined drive will be Spaceman after such a good start to the French Grand Prix. Yeah, real unfortunate turn of events for him. He finished outside the points, had a collision with a Mercedes car by the look of it. Not sure who it was. Maybe that'll be reported in the incidents, we don't know, but it was tricky conditions with the transition from dry to wet. So I think he'll be looking for some redemption in this race. As we are waiting for players. And it looks like it's just Bulltex that we're waiting on, so maybe he's playing with his setup, or maybe we've got an issue with the lobby. And it does look like we've got an issue with the lobby here, because we've got a lagging Bulltex. So I think for the interests of everyone, we will exit this particular stream. Everyone in the Discord chat is asking if everyone wants a cup of coffee or tea. Tea for me, please. 2 biscuits. Okay, I think we're going to leave this session and we're going to set up a new stream, everybody. So just bear with me while I get this sorted out. Right, let's do this. If there's anyone that's not here, could you invite them, please? Because it's taking me an age to go through my friends list. In fact, nobody can hear me because I'm in the party chat, so I'm talking to myself. Come on. It's taking forever and a month for Sundays. Okay, so I think we're all present and correct now. I'm going to send a speculatory invite to Ballox. Okay. If someone could confirm in the Tier 2 stream chat they can still hear me, that would be fantastic. Yeah, I can hear myself, good. Okay, so we're now back in Belgium. it was sunny a few minutes ago. It's now looking a bit more overcast, and we don't have the benefit of the weather forecast like the drivers do, so we'll just have to play it by ear and call it when we see it, like we did in France. So, Spa-Francorchamps, one of the greatest circuits in the world. And hopefully everyone will be able to load onto the grid this time. And we've got the countdown, so that's a good sign. So, if you missed the start of the Belgium race before the lobby froze, or indeed missed the first race in France, it was an eventful race. I recommend you go back and watch it. A lot of fantastic wheel-to-wheel action in a race that started off in the dry, and then at exactly the time when the pit stop window opened for the soft to medium runners, the rain came down. So a lot of the guys pitted on the medium tyres and then had to pit under the safety car, which was out at the time, and go on the inters. So those guys that did that will be thankful there was a safety car, because they would have lost a lot of time. And the race in the end was won by Ray Zudden, followed by Castle France and Ultimate Stan. And Daddy Pig maybe still hasn't realised that we do formation laps here in the Scientist Reverse Grid League, because he's bolted. And we've got a couple of disqualifications from the formation lap, so that's Vans and Dacunia. So usually that happens if there's been a coming together of sorts, and yeah, that just means you respawn on the grid with full tyres. So there's the predicted pit stop strategy for the soft runners. Let's just get the telemetry sorted out here to see what tyre everyone is on. So we've got Ryan Van Doom, Ultimate Stan, Casto, Wayne Bennett and Max all on the medium tyres. Everyone else is on the soft compound tyre. So the two Alpha Tauris there, that's Ryan Van Doom and Max, are both on the medium tyres, so let's hope they don't decide to pit at the exact same time. Same goes for obviously the soft runners there, but Ultimate Stan is the man to watch. He is appears to be the master of making up a lot of positions early on in the Grand Prix, and tends to be floating around the top 4 or 5 positions towards the end of the race, so let's keep an eye on him after a swing in the championship towards Reyes now, as the cars make their way to the grid for the start of the race after a long formation lap. Let's keep the telemetry on to keep an eye on people's ERSs as well. It's interesting to also see how the way they're using it as the 5 lights come on. And we're underway in Belgium. The 2 racing points. Oh, and there's a bit of Spa 98 going on down there with some collisions as So, looks like we had a yellow flag conditions and we're now back underway. Desert Rat is leading the Grand Prix. He's
Whoa!